Hey, everybody, welcome to the Cryptopolitan podcast. My name is Earl Formata, and I'm the head of sales over at the Cryptopolitan. And today's guest is it Matt? How do you pronounce?
Mate is the good
Ma-
one, but
Matt,
when I'm in the UK, they call me mate, of course.
mate. So, mate or mate? Flip a
Mate,
coin.
mate, we can go with mate.
Mate it is. All right. Well, mate, tell us about the core. I'm looking at the site. It's a Web3 space adventure. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, indeed. At least I hope that people find it interesting too. Thank you
Mhm.
very much for inviting me to this session, and welcome everyone who is listening to this one. Yeah, so the core is like you said, a space exploration adventure. We are trying to merge a couple of things to make it really exciting. So imagine that you can be part of a sci-fi saga that is endless, and you can take any role in this universe that you want. That's what we are doing.
Okay.
We launched our MVP back in February this year.
Mhm.
Purpose was to experiment a little bit with some new concept that we bring into the player. So just a bit of background why we started the project. A few years ago, when I was looking at Web3 projects, I felt that we are just not utilizing token economics and blockchain the way that we can actually do this. So the idea was that why don't we create like an alternative universe, tokenize everything in it, and basically just build up the incentives that drive people in the real world. And we started testing, the concept, and we actually this month we reached the stage where we say that all right, we know exactly what we're gonna do, and we know exactly how we're gonna engage people, and we know exactly how we can actually create a game that doesn't just feel like a game, but more feel like that everybody who's stepping into it is actually stepping into the world of like an alternative sci-fi universe. And I think that keeps you quite interested.
If you could compare it, like I'm a big fan of like the sci-fi genre. I really enjoy, like, the StarCraft type of stuff back in the day. That just shows how old I am, right? But like, what
Tell me about that. My favorite game was Heroes 3 for a decade, so I
oh,
can
there
say
you
that.
go. I enjoy the same games. That we're both dating ourselves. But
Yeah,
so what kind of game, like, from like the modern age, would you compare it to?
we got a lot of inspiration from games like EVE Online or No
Mhm.
Man's Sky, especially the
Yes.
second. Both are what you can call open world universe exploration games, but both of them have some limitations. With No Man's Sky, what you see is that every world is kind of the same, even though they procedurally generated, they don't really change, and the infrastructure and the whole purpose of the plants are the same. And
Mhm.
EVE Online is extremely brutal. So I mean, when you start playing EVE Online, even though that there's a certain people who like that stuff, if you're not like an experienced player who has been playing with EVE Online for years, you can easily get jumped on by other players, and they can kill you and take all of your possessions that you generated within the last few weeks. So
Mhm.
but even though these are still a little bit more limited experiences, and what we really want to facilitate here is like an endless dynamic open world experience when we don't limit the boundaries that people can build, we don't limit the boundaries that people can achieve within this world. Of course, we need guidance and we need structure, but with the new technologies like Gen AI, you can create games which has visuals that were not prefabricated but actually developing during the gameplay, and you can also create scenarios with large language models that has not been existed before, but people are developing the scenarios, the challenges, even the villains as they play, and all that fueled by the open market potential that Web3 brings. I think we are living in an age where we can really change how people think about games and how we can create instead of predetermined games like a dynamic gaming environment. So
Mhm.
that's one of our hooks that we want to build here.
That's really interesting, because if they can really customize their environment, it becomes like more immersive, right?
Yeah,
You feel like you're more part of the ecosystem, right?
indeed. So we even have this idea, and we already trial this actually these days when we make the players part of the narrative. So when we create a visual, it's not just the non-player characters who we set up, but we can also visualize one of the top player alongside an NPC character and give it, hey guys, this is how you do stuff in this universe.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's definitely a different different take on it. So yeah, I'm curious, and I'm here for the launch. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, that's why I think that, I mean, maybe the best expression that, imagine that you live in a sci-fi series, and that's
Yeah,
what we want to build, gamify it, and just create like a next level entertainment on that. And I'm trying
absolutely.
to say this without saying too much bullshit and dropping the bullshit bingo on you. So I just
No,
said,
no,
I mean,
I like that. You're telling us like it is, right? I mean, but it's a game, it's a game. It's supposed to be entertaining, right? That's really
and
cool.
since we are an indie studio, the thing is that we are allowed to experiment, so we don't risk years of branding. We don't
Mhm.
lose company profile. I mean, what we want to be here is like an innovative studio who are using the most recent technologies the right way without pushing everything around the token, without pushing everything around AI. We want to use everything to the limit which makes sense, and we can say that, okay, for the next 20 years using this technology this way probably makes sense. So
Right.
that's our approach here.
That makes sense. It sounds like a pretty deep project, but when you're not deep into the project for the core, what do you do for fun? So, right? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure. You have to have something outside of the work, right? So what do you
I
do?
think I think it was the other way around. So I'm actually coming from the investment banking and banking technology space. So I was building and working with banking technologies for almost a decade, and in the last 1 or 2 years, actually thinking about the core and creating concept around the core, that was my escape from the serious banking stuff that I've been doing. And
Interesting. So yeah, so
I
you were an iBanker, and then you shift to a game maker, and this is your escape. That's really cool, man. That's
yeah,
a
I
different
mean,
perspective, right?
yeah, I mean, in a little bit more context. So I was starting to working for banks and financial institution. I was climbing the corporate ledger. I was
Mm,
working in Europe, in London for a couple of years, and then I just felt that this thing is limited in the speed and in the potential achievements that I can do in my time frame. So, or I can say that I got bored of it. That you can also say that. So I started my entrepreneur journey in 2017. That's when that crypto boom was actually
yes,
happening in 2017.
absolutely.
I loved it. I traded it. I lost it. So I experienced the crypto ecosystem from
Yeah,
every perspective. But what I did along that time is that I had 1 or 2 years just research the whole crypto stuff and understand what's this about. And we started to experiment with DeFi technologies. We built our first DeFi platforms back in 2018 and 19. We wanted to create a compliant DeFi solution for hedge funds to manage on-chain portfolios. And
interesting. Okay,
at that time, it was way too early for the players. We went to
right.
Switzerland. We spent 6 months there. We basically interviewed every big hedge fund in Switzerland, and they said, "Hey guys, this is awesome. This sounds really next gen, but we are not touching that stuff." And the reason was that
Too
it was
soon,
way too early from compliance perspective. So even
right?
blockchain, even decentralization was not a concept at that time. So. So we put the project aside actually, and I co-founded another company, a core banking system, back to the serious banking stuff again, but from now banking, digital banking perspective. And we did have some great achievements, but my co-founder left, and also the investor were not really aiming for international unicorn status. So we eventually went for an acquisition, but I worked a lot with regulated crypto and how crypto regulation approaches the sphere. But even that was a little bit too sweet bank
Right.
stuff. So
I follow. I follow. But it's still an interesting journey, right? You went from just traditional
I
iBank
learned a lot. I learned a
to
lot. I learned
crypto,
a
and then
lot
started to
how.
now, yeah, now you understand like crypto architecture. Like all the stuff that needs to be done, and then you took that and you just I love how you chase freedom, right? I love how you chase.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. I just want to have fun, and I just want to have fun, and I can't bear the thought that I don't know what's out there in space, So I have to do something about it. So
Right.
at least we can create our own universe, right?
So you're not going to Mars then, are you?
I mean, I hope I can go. I mean, I heard that the first rockets are going in 2 years, and then the next man rockets are going in 4 years. So I mean, you can say a lot of bad things about Elon, but he's achieving stuff for sure.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Well, that's going to be cool. So hopefully your game still works out there.
yeah, and I mean, we do have this how to say ambitious goals that we will want to send someone to Mars within the game. So I mean, that can be like one achievement. So if you achieve something within the game, let's say within 5 to 10 years, we might be able to fly you to Mars, and just
Oh, wow.
continue playing there.
Absolutely. That's cool. That's cool. So like it's real life immersion on top of the game on top, right?
Indeed, we do have this even though that we are creating like a virtual universe, then we want to create like real world impact in any way. So either helping people to achieve stuff that they wouldn't be able to achieve, or just support projects, real world projects, either in technology or the space exploration. I mean, we want to do stuff that that people like and people enjoy eventually. So I think
Absolutely.
after 10 years in banking, I can say that genuinely that it's time to do something like that, right?
Well, that's cool. I mean, we can live vicariously through you and then through the people that it could because I like it here. I don't want to go to Mars, but I will support somebody who wants to
I'm
go.
not saying that
So I
people needs to live there for a long time, but I mean to just go there, that's probably a good feeling. But I mean,
yeah,
probably people will want to come back at least at the beginning until we have some nice,
some
facilities there.
nicer stuff out there. Well, yeah, yeah. I would support somebody going. So as part of the community, I would love to support somebody and listen to their feedback, listen to their reports back. That'd be really neat. You feel more part of it, right? So again, it's community build. All right. Well, speaking of community build, give the viewers here a reason to connect with you. Why should they connect with you, and how should they connect with you?
Yeah, I think just continuing on the last topic. So, guys, if you ever want to go to Mars and you feel that you can't do that, just join, and maybe we will take you there.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
but
Best
yeah, I
offer
mean,
ever.
yeah, I think that would be the headline probably of the podcast, right? But yeah, I mean, on the shorter term, so I don't want to elevate expectations too much. So we do have a version out there, and it's basically really well facilitating early adopters, so you can get lots of benefits from joining early to the game.
Mm,
Whatever you do right now within the game is not something that you will not lose. Everything is recorded on chain. Every asset is on chain in your self-custody wallet. So this is in the current phase, we are building something for the future, but we do have our next steps in order to make it like a really compelling Web2 game experience. But we do seek lots of feedbacks. We want to hear about you guys, what you like to do, what you would like to do in the space, how you imagine the space, what are your favorite sci-fi movies, what are your favorite games? Because right now, in the next 3 months, we are actually planning the big game, and we are onboarding game designers as of now, and every intel that you can do and every feedback that you can do is really appreciated. And yeah, we already have the structure. So if you just join, fill out a few quizzes, then you can already get some of the currency of the universe, how we call it. That's the
okay.
influence token. So we already have that reserved. So there are many benefits, but yeah, the next and we can say that we are still before the hype, so we haven't even launched any big campaigns. We are not listed, so every exciting stuff is basically coming in the next 3 to 9 months within the life of the course. So the more you
Very
guys want
cool.
to experience it, the more we want to support you. So
All right. So the website is thecore.network, correct?
yeah, that's the one. From there, you can easily navigate to the game platform. It's explore.thecore.network,
Mm,
and in every social like X, LinkedIn, you can find us easily if you type Explore the core, then it's gonna give you
fantastic.
the right place.
All right. Well, what we'll do is we'll put the information in the description so people can get a hold of you and get
Appreciate
into
it.
the community, the Discord, and really learn more about the game. Well, Mate, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you sharing your vision, sharing your journey, and this is all really exciting.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, Earth, for having me. And yeah, let's hope that we can maybe meet at one of the spaceships in a few years, and you we can do some waves, and maybe we can go to the moon together. I mean, who knows?
Sounds good. That'd be a lot of fun. All right.
Yeah,
Cheers, man.
good to be here. Thank you.